It was 1989, the year that looked ahead to the 1990 FIFA World Cup, hosted this time in Italy, a football powerhouse full of history and tradition. It would be the year of Salvatore Schillaci, the Adidas Etrusco Unico, and another instance of the world watching and holding their breath as football's greatest took the pitch, like Diego Maradona and Jurgen Klinsmann, while also watching the heroics of Cameroon and Roger Milla, the ageless wonder. However, this World Cup also went down in history as one of the worst ever, with just 2.21 goals per game and 16 red cards total handed out. How fitting indeed that back in the video game world, a game such as World Championship Soccer was what people were playing in anticipation of such a dreadful contest. A Sega original, World Championship Soccer is a real bother of a football simulator, and based on the almost nauseating top-down camera angle, it may be apparent as to why. You have a choice of national sides from all across the world, and there are two modes, tournament and test match. Once you've chosen your squad, the mayhem begins. I'm not sure whether or not this is supposed to be what foosball would look like, if the players were taken off their skewers, given life, and turned loose on the pitch. But given that all you see is shoulders, a head, and the rest of the player only when they're hauled down by a tackle, that might be your first guess. The total and utter elimination of fouls and bookings are another example of why this is a forgettable game, and begs the question, is there room for any kind of actual football tactics to be implemented in this game? Well, the answer is a 99.9% no. The remaining 0.1% reserved for tapping the A button over and over again, whether it's to perform a blatant slide tackle from behind that would incapacitate your opponent for a few months in real life, or to desperately move the ball forward before the opposition succeeds in stripping you of it, by also tackling like maniacs. This game becomes a total and utter exercise in futility, even if you're 2 goals up with Mother Russia, or USSR, against mighty Brazil. Once you realize that it doesn't really matter which button does, whether it's a straightforward shot with A or some kind of crazy lob with B and C, you'll be tapping away like I did here. Also worth complaining about is the switching between players, especially if you're on the defensive with the opposing team ready to strike towards net. As soon as the ball leaves the striker's foot, the computer will put you in control of your keeper, and to say that this is disorienting is an understatement. More like totally unfair. Your best bet for offensive success is to realize when you have the best chance for a strike on goal, then aim your shot even if you're outside of the box, and hope to hell that it crawls into the low corner. World Championship Soccer is definitely one worth avoiding in this day and age, but I'd wager that if the awful top-down camera angle was replaced with good old isometrics, and if the gameplay wasn't like watching a pinball bouncing around on a football pitch, it would at least be bearable to play. But after all, this was supposed to be a game about the 1990 World Cup, so who's to question Sega about the game's accuracy?